Picture this. A child is born. Before taking their first breath, before learning to walk or speak, they are already declared a traitor. Not because of anything they've done, but because of what their grandfather thought. Welcome back to the Planetary File. What you're about to discover about North Korea will fundamentally change how you see the modern world. Here's something most people don't know. Right now, in 2026, there exists a nation where the internet doesn't exist as you know it, where owning a pair of jeans can destroy your entire family, where elections happen, but there's only one name on the ballot, where you can be imprisoned not for committing a crime, but for thinking about committing one. This isn't ancient history. This is happening today. Before we descend into what some call the world's largest prison, hit that like button if you're ready to explore the unthinkable. Today, we're going deep into the most isolated nation on Earth. To understand how North Korea became this way, we need to go back. Until 1945, Japan controlled the entire Korean peninsula for 30 years. Then World War II ended and everything changed. Korea was split in two. The North fell under Soviet influence. The South came under American control. In 1948, a man named Kim Il-sung took power in the North and established the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. The word democratic in that name is the cruelest joke in modern history. In 1950, war erupted. Brother fought brother. Millions died. 3 years of brutal fighting ended without a peace treaty. Technically, North and South Korea are still at war right now, 75 years later. That unfinished war shapes everything that happens in North Korea today. Power has remained in one family. Kim Il-sung ruled until his death, then his son Kim Jong-il took over. Now his grandson, Kim Jong-un, holds absolute control. Each generation tightened their grip, using increasingly harsh laws to maintain power through fear. But here's what's truly chilling. These aren't just laws to prevent crime, they're laws designed to control thought itself. Let's start with something simple: your appearance. In most countries, you choose your hairstyle. In North Korea, the government provides a list of approved haircuts. Men get 10 options, women get 18. Choose anything else, and you risk punishment. Dye your hair? That's foreign contamination. Wear bright clothing? That's Western influence. Jeans? Confiscated immediately. Even your wedding is controlled. In 2024, North Korea banned certain types of wedding dresses deemed too Western. Your marriage ceremony must follow state guidelines, celebrating not just your union, but your eternal gratitude to the Kim dynasty. Now, think about your daily commute. In metro stations worldwide, you hear music. In North Korea, you hear speeches. Recordings of Kim family propaganda play constantly. Here's the rule. During these speeches, you must remain silent. No talking, no making noise, just listening. But then it gets darker. What did you watch last night? A movie? A TV show? In North Korea, watching a South Korean drama or Hollywood film can send you to a forced labor camp, not for a few days, for years. Why this extreme punishment? Because entertainment isn't just entertainment, it's a weapon. Every foreign film shows a different way of life, plants seeds of doubt, makes people question why they live the way they do. The government knows this. That's why they've built a digital prison. You use the internet every day. You Google questions, watch YouTube videos, read news from around the world. Now imagine all of that gone. North Koreans have computers and smartphones, but they're not connected to the global internet. Instead, there's a national intranet called Kwangmyong. It contains only government-approved content. The state monitors every click, every search, every page visited. Making an international phone call without state permission? Illegal. The punishment can be severe. All media, television, radio, newspapers, is state-controlled. There's no such thing as private media. Turn on the TV in North Korea and you'll find one channel, Korean Central Television. Change the channel? You can't. Every TV is pre-tuned to state channels with other frequencies disabled. Imported TVs have their tuning mechanisms physically removed. What does this single channel broadcast? Praise for the government, glorification of the Kim dynasty, condemnation of foreign enemies, especially America. From childhood, North Koreans are taught one thing: hate America and its allies. Here's where it gets truly dystopian. Travel between cities requires a permit. Want to visit your cousin in another province? You need government permission. Most people never get it. A passport exists in North Korea, but it's only available to the elite, government officials, people close to Kim Jong-un. Everyone else, they're trapped. Leaving the country isn't just difficult. For most, it's impossible. Nothing belongs to you. Not your house, not your business, not the ground beneath your feet. All land, all buildings, all shops are state property. You don't own them. You're permitted to use them. The state can revoke that permission anytime. Religion is banned. Churches exist in Pyongyang, but they're empty showcases for foreign visitors. Practice any faith privately and you risk being sent to a labor camp. Christianity, Buddhism, Islam, all are seen as threats to the worship of the Kim family. But perhaps the most horrifying rule is this: 3-generation punishment. Here's how it works. Let's say you criticize the government. You're arrested. Your crime doesn't just affect you. Your children are imprisoned. Your parents are imprisoned. And here's the truly unthinkable part. Your future grandchildren, not yet born, are already declared traitors. They will be born in prison camps, live in prison camps, and die in prison camps because of what you said. This isn't metaphorical. It's literal policy designed to extinguish any thought of rebellion. Oppose the regime and you don't just destroy your life, you destroy your bloodline. Nobody is safe because everyone is watched. Government informants monitor every neighborhood, every apartment block. Your neighbor could be reporting on you. Your coworker might be taking notes. Even family members sometimes inform on each other to prove their loyalty. And then, here's something that sounds impossible but is true. You can be jailed for thinking about committing a crime. Not planning it, not attempting it, thinking about it. If you confess such thoughts in the mandatory self-criticism sessions, you've essentially signed your own arrest warrant. Those self-criticism sessions happen weekly. From birth to death, every North Korean must attend. Paint the scene. Stand before your neighbors and publicly confess faults. I was insufficiently enthusiastic praising Kim Jong-un. I was impressed by a foreign product. I failed to report my friend's weakness to authorities. Then others criticize you. Reflective. This ritual reinforces control, making people police themselves and each other. Elections exist, but they're not what you think. Voting is mandatory. There's one candidate on the ballot. One. You enter a booth, you mark that name, you leave. Failing to vote makes you a traitor. Rhetorical question. So why hold elections at all? They're not about choosing leaders, they're about loyalty tests. When 100% of the population votes for the sole candidate, the regime presents it as proof of national unity. A national assembly exists called the Supreme People's Assembly, but its role is simple: approve whatever Kim Jong-un decides. It's a rubber stamp disguised as democracy. From childhood, every citizen must memorize the 10-point ideological principles. These principles mention Kim Il-sung repeatedly. Students are tested, adults are questioned. Stumble during recitation and you risk being labeled a traitor. Imagine having to memorize and recite political doctrine perfectly, knowing one mistake could destroy your family. Quick absurdity. Even bicycles require registration, license plates, a road safety test, and a permit. Yes, bicycles. Clothing with foreign logos, slogans, or flags is forbidden. That Nike shirt you're wearing? In North Korea, it would be confiscated. You'd be punished for cultural contamination. Shift to tourist rules. Tourists face extreme restrictions. A mandatory guide accompanies you everywhere. You can only visit approved locations. You cannot speak to locals without permission. You cannot take candid photographs. Any interviews must be monitored by your guide. Reflective. North Korea allows tourism not for cultural exchange, but to show carefully staged scenes to the outside world. USB drives are checked regularly. Computers are inspected. Any foreign content, movies, music, documents found leads to punishment. The regime knows that information is more dangerous than any weapon. The most inhuman aspect of North Korean society is something called Songbun. Define it. It's a class system that determines your entire life from the moment you're born based on your family's history. There are 3 classes. The core class. These are descendants of revolutionaries who fought with Kim Il-sung or served in the Korean War. They received the best jobs, government positions, permission to live in Pyongyang, and can even own cars. The wavering class. The general population whose ancestors were ordinary workers or farmers. They receive middle-tier facilities and opportunities. The hostile class. Those whose ancestors practiced religion or had connections to South Korea. They're declared traitors at birth. Given the worst jobs, mining, sanitation, manual labor. They live in poverty with no hope of advancement. Their children inherit this status. Their grandchildren too. You don't choose your class. You're born into it, and you die in it. Electricity, water, and gas are rationed. Power outages are common. Outside Pyongyang, entire cities go dark at night. Satellite images show the stark difference. South Korea blazing with light. North Korea nearly invisible in darkness. Military service is mandatory. Men serve up to 10 years. Women also serve. Starting at age 17, the best years of your youth are spent in uniform, learning to worship the Kim dynasty and prepare for war. Here's something almost impossible to believe. Crying is compulsory on the death anniversaries of Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il. Not crying, that raises suspicion about your loyalty. People have been punished for insufficient grief. So every year on these dates, entire cities fill with mandatory tears. Every home must display portraits of Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il. These portraits must be kept meticulously clean. Dust on them is disrespect. Damage to them is treason. Inspectors check homes randomly. School children don't just learn history. They memorize speeches by former leaders word for word as ideological training. Education isn't about knowledge, it's about indoctrination. North Korea is so isolated it even uses its own calendar. The Juche calendar starts from Kim Il-sung's birth year, 1912. So the year 2025 in the rest of the world is Juche 113 in North Korea. Even time bends to the Kim dynasty. Why this extreme isolation? The regime knows that exposure to the outside world would inspire opposition. International sanctions over its nuclear weapons program have deepened this isolation. North Korea has become a hermit kingdom, sealed off by choice and by force. How do we know all this? Most information comes from 3 sources. First, people who escaped after the Korean War and those who've defected more recently, risking their lives to tell their stories. Second, spy satellites that monitor the country from space. Third, footage smuggled out on USB drives through China, often at great personal risk. Some rules mentioned here may have changed. Others may now be even harsher. Updated information is scarce because North Korea remains perhaps the most closed society on Earth. 25 million people live under these rules right now, not in some distant past, but today, as you watch this. They wake up in a system designed not just to control their actions, but their thoughts, their memories, their very souls. This is the story of a nation that turned itself into a prison, where being born is enough to make you a criminal, where thinking is dangerous, where 3 generations pay for one person's dissent. This is the Planetary File. If this story opened your eyes, hit that like button and share this video with someone who needs to understand what freedom truly means. Drop a comment telling me what shocked you most, and subscribe because we're diving into more of history's darkest chapters and most incredible truths. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.